So this is our second week being in Japan, and here we are heading to Hiroshima. And after a very long travel day, we are in Hiroshima. You can see how crowded it can get in the station sometimes, so it's definitely a struggle to keep up with the group, but we all survived, thankfully. This was us walking to our hotel after getting off the trains. Based on how much you learn about Hiroshima growing up in history class, I never actually thought to think about what the city looks like now, and it really is just such a beautiful city. This is us entering the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, and here you can see the atomic bomb dome and some of the layout of the park. There's a lot to see in the park as well as the actual museum, and so many people were just taking the park in and just having a leisure stroll around the park. Then we were headed into the museum where they had this wraparound image showing the destruction that the atomic bomb had on the city. This showed a map of the city and where the bomb was dropped, and we were able to get a better idea of just how much damage was spread from where it was dropped. In the museum, they showed pictures of victims of the atomic bomb and the damage it had done to their bodies, like heat and radiation damage. I think the art really provoked a lot of emotion out of me. I felt much more of a personal connection than I ever did reading a textbook, and I've never seen real life artifacts that were left behind after the bombing and belonged to people. I just felt so honored being able to see them. I really appreciated how this museum just put aside all the technical aspects of the war and just slowly looked at it at a humanitarian lens. All of the artwork and the artifacts captured all of the emotions experienced by the victims, and this museum did not sugarcoat anything and showed the reality of war and its brutal consequences. I came to the realization that the only difference between me and the people that died in Hiroshima is where we were born, and we are just no different from each other. This museum really just put so much in perspective for me and showed that this bombing did not have mercy on anybody. I read so many stories of the victims in a lot of detail, like what they were wearing and what their last words were, and they were all so descriptive, and I was just playing out the scenes in my head. One component of the museum that really stuck with me the most was the family letters received at the evacuation site. This made me think of my own family and what it would be like to write and receive these letters, and the words of these letters will just stick with me for the rest of my life. I think that this museum should be something that everyone should experience, and I just felt so much grief for people I didn't even know, and it showed me a side of history that I wasn't even fully able to understand learning about it growing up.
Whenever. But
Outside
yes,
at the
that's
park, we
something
had high
that
school students take us on a tour and explain all of the structures that sit in the park.
every year.
Here you can see fire burning. This fire will stop burning when there is no more nuclear weapons being used.
So how do they keep it going in the rain?
The story behind the cranes is about a girl who died of leukemia after being exposed to radiation, and in hopes to cure her cancer, she folded paper cranes and prayed that she would recover. The high school students gifted us cranes to always remember Sadako by. Here, me and my classmates are ringing the peace bell and taking a stand against nuclear warfare. This is the Peace Clock Tower. This tower chimes at 8:15 a.m. every day, which is when the atomic bomb was dropped, to remind the world no more Hiroshimas.
So this bridge was this bridge survived.
This is the Hiroshima hospital that is actually still running to this day.
So the
The atomic bomb exploded above the
first
hospital and was the hypocenter for the bombing.
over.
This statue has the paper cranes around the sides, and in the center is the goddess of peace. After the museum and the park, we were headed to Miyajima Island, and this was a band performing in the station. This was us taking the ferry to the island. We got to freely roam and explore the island and take in all of its natural beauty. This was one of my favorite places on the trip, and we just got to bond a lot together as classmates.
You okay?
It was so cool being able to see more traditional Japanese architecture.